While many times when we think about boating, we think about fun in paradise, out in the sun, relaxing, enjoying yourself, and having a good time. But that's not always the case out on the water, as can be seen by these images here. Welcome back, guys. It is your boy Broncos Guru, and it's this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. Before we begin the episode this week, we've got a little opening business to discuss. Last week on Boating News of the Week, we featured the RNLI, and I mentioned for every 1,000 likes the video got, I would go ahead and donate $100 to the RNLI. And you guys actually lit that button up, liking the video 8,000 times. So let's go ahead and do a little Euro conversion here. We're going to go ahead and give that donation that we discussed. I really do appreciate everybody's commitment to the channel. Without you guys, none of this would be possible, and we wouldn't be able to do cool things like this every once in a while. Thank you so much for smashing that like button. I appreciate it. The RNLI appreciates it, and I really do truly hope these are the kind of things we get to do here on this channel for many years to come. Thanks again, guys, for your help. Now, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get this week's episode of Boating News of the Week started. Our first incident to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to Greece, where a Greek Minesweeper naval vessel collided with a Maersk container ship, leaving the vessel disabled and looking like this. That's right, that's about half of a ship we've got left. Somehow, fortunately, there were no major injuries with this event. 2 people did go to the hospital, but they have since been released. The Maersk container ship is still currently being held in Greece while the investigation goes on. They did finally release the captain this week. There really is not a whole lot of information about exactly how this happened, but one thing is for sure, these are some crazy images to see, to realize that that container ship cut this naval vessel in half. One thing that does concern me a little is the large oil sheen we see behind this vessel as it's being dragged into port. This makes me wonder if there's going to be any type of environmental impact as well from this. Our next incident to make the boating news this week is going to take us over to the country of Turkey, where they had a massive earthquake strike this past week. The earthquake also triggered what authorities are calling a mini tsunami, causing streets to flood on Friday in parts of Turkey as well as neighboring Greek islands. The USGS measured the tremor magnitude at 7.0, while Turkish authorities said it was only a 6.6. Either way, these are both devastating earthquake numbers. Here we can see what's happening right before the mini tsunami hits. All this water that we see being pulled out will obviously be water that's going to be pushed back in, causing devastating damage. These images just show you what kind of power a tsunami is going to pack. The next incident to make the boating news this week was boat shows were canceled. Yeah, some people are going to be thinking, Broncos Guru, that's not big news, but you know what? It kind of is, because the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show just happened, and it is one of the largest boat shows in the world. And that leads me to believe that many people did not see this coming. If FLIBs can happen, I'm sure many people thought these other shows were going to go on, but the National Marine Manufacturers Association announced it's canceling 9 of its annual shows, which are 9 of the largest shows in the United States. They are mentioning that one of the major contributing factors to this is our safety and the boat manufacturer's safety as well, which they can be congratulated on doing that, but I'm really actually wondering if this is not financial. After being at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show this year, you couldn't help but notice it was approximately 1/3 the size of what it normally is. I'm wondering if there's just not enough boat manufacturer support or interest in doing these shows right now for it to make financial sense for these guys to pull these off. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Our next incident to make the boating news this week is going to be Hurricane Zeta, which left 2.1 million customers without power as it devastated the Gulf Coast. This was a Category 2 storm, but that only tells part of the story, as we can see from these images right here. This video was sent in from an oil rig out in the Gulf of Mexico when this oil rig was near the eye wall of Hurricane Zeta. Right here, these are 50-foot waves smashing into this rig. Also, they had top wind speeds recorded out here of 150 miles an hour. So when a storm's only rated a Category 2, that doesn't give you the full story. It's just going to give you what it was as it hit landfall. But this is exactly what these guys experienced out in the middle of the ocean during this event. This really did have to be a pretty intense day out there on the oil rig. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening in your waterways, be sure to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram and let me know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Tracy Gingrass, John Booth, Papa G, and Justin Godfrey did this week. And if you haven't already, guys, go ahead and drop an anchor on that subscribe button. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.